Hello and welcome to the round 19 team sheets video. It is George from Fantasy Take TV, and today we'll discuss the 9 games in round 19. Pretty simple. Defense is under a bit of pressure, so we'll discuss that and what we can do. But other than that, 5 weeks to go, so not a whole lot going on. Important debutant that we'll go over, so that's exciting. So we'll get to it. So Richmond versus Fremantle, nothing of significance in the ins and outs. And worth noting that Will Brodie actually had his lowest CBAs for the year at 59%, or at least the lowest of the past maybe 3 months or so. And Caleb Serong's CBAs have gone down, and I think that is Fife taking up that. So maybe it impacts Brodie just a little bit, but still getting enough. 60% CBA is still pretty good, so I'm okay with that. And Sonsi looks good. I think there's better options. I'm not even sure if he's gone up in price, but he looked good, so I think he'll hold. And we'll move on. Worth noting, no lob means, I guess, more ruck time for Darcy. I don't know who does the second ruck. Is it Taberner, I guess? I'm not sure. Brisbane versus Gold Coast. So a lot of ins for Brisbane. A few senior plays, which is good. Quite a lot of them actually, and then a few outs. Fort is out, so that means they get all their forwards back, I think. Yep, the full Hipwood, Danaher, McStay, so Oscar McInerney, Solar Rucks against Wits. I have both of them. They both fairly negating Ruckman, so not getting my hopes up for this game. But if you have Rich or Zorko and you've somehow held them, I think Rich is okay to hold. Zorko is a little bit worrying. But they're back. So we'll see. Zorko's named in defense, so see how that goes. And then Bose has been omitted, which is interesting for Gold Coast. A little disappointing. He had a rough year with injury, though. Maybe needs a full preseason. I'm not too sure. I don't know what his role is going to be going forward and stuff like that. And then Elijah Hollins is finally in. So it's at the point where you hope he doesn't play, so we get him for next year. But see how he goes. But VFL numbers been pretty good. Been impressive. And you probably should have debuted a while ago, but they've been trying to build him up, so off the ACL. So see how he goes. And he's one I'd be okay going early on. Ace is out. Probably that spot is taken by Hollins, I assume. Maybe Bose's sub here, something like that. North versus Hawthorn. No real changes here for North, and then CJ's out. I think he's got something minor, and Cozzy was sub. He's out for Jack Gunston. So one less rebounder down back. Maybe that helps Sicily a little bit. That gives him a bit more responsibility. Impey's been playing forward, so not that that's relevant this year, but maybe he goes down back. He's named down back, but you never know with team sheets. But Dylan Moore named in the forward line. I fully expect him to continue the 60% CBA role. I don't know why he wouldn't do that. So I think he's a decent pick. I think he's a genuine option up forward if you want to go for it. I fully endorse it. I think he can do 105. Hawthorn and North Melbourne, another easy fixture. I think Hawthorn, who they had, West Coast and Adelaide, so North. So again, shouldn't have too much trouble there. And not much else on North side of things. Goldie's been really good. He's, dare I say it, he could be R1 for the next 5 weeks. He has been in good form, and he's continuing that 70-30 rough forward ruck split. So definitely more ruck though, which is good. So I do like the Goldie pick if you're looking for someone there. And Aaron Hall is emergency. I assume he's got to be best 22. It's just they're being probably careful with him. Maybe they're not sure whether he'll be right or not. So maybe they'll just give him another week or something. But that maybe they're just giving him the option if he pulls up. So still Hall is not someone I would touch this year. Maybe for like one round in round 23, but other than that, it's pretty worrying with his injury problems. Port versus Geelong. I think this will be a good game. Bonner is out, which is good for Jace Burgoyne. So if you have Jace Burgoyne, maybe you can cover George Hewitt, who we'll get to after. Rosie named at half forward. I think him and Butters get named at half forward every week, but Butters' CBAs have actually dropped, so he's not one I'd target as a discounted option. But Connor Rosie, very expensive now. Probably career best form, one of the best players in the league the past month. So I'm not sure if you're buying high or fair price with Rosie, but he's been outstanding and very fun play to watch and great pick if you picked him up. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Geelong and Port. Don't think there's much to discuss. Geelong haven't been super relevant this year outside of SDK and Stewart. And Blitzarves, for those that went him at R2, who's been okay, just playing sort of everywhere. CBA tagging mid, bit of a weird one. But seems to have a decent enough floor wherever he plays. Swans versus the Crows. Harry Cunningham was sub, so basically no changes at all for this game. So no Matt Crouch for the Crows. I think that's good for Laird. A key CBAs did drop to 60 odd to give Berry and Schonberg more. Specifically Berry, who I do like the look of, and not going to say he's an option next year just yet, but one to watch. I think he's averaging 9 tackles a game, which is more than anyone in the league. So if you can score from there and get a high CBA role next year with Matt Crouch out the door, I think he'll end up being the third, maybe overtake Keys as the second best mid. So that's just me being a Crows tragic, talking him up. But yeah, he's been good for the Crows. Mills named on bowl, kind of plays everywhere. I think he's been 50% CBA. I can't remember last week, but at least for a few weeks there, he was 50% CBAs. Park is good. Heaney's CBA role is absolutely dead, so he got conned in by Horse. But fortunately, part of the Heaney pick is his floor is somewhere in the 90s as a forward, so unless he got injured, it was never going to be a disaster, in my opinion. But yeah, had a great year. I do hope he gets all Australian. And then another one here is Jordan Dawson has been sick during the week, so I think expected to play, as an Adelaide journalist was saying on Twitter. Hopefully he does. If he doesn't play, I'd rather trade Hewitt than Dawson. We'll get to Hewitt soon. Just because don't know when Hewitt's coming back. So whereas Dawson illness, he'll be back the week after. So if he might cop a tag from Ryan Clark, he might play poor because of illness. Just happy he takes the field because cover is looking pretty dodgy at the moment down back. Bulldogs in Melbourne, probably the main one here. So Sweet is out, so they're showing enormous faith in Tim English to take the reins again with Aaron Norton in. So yeah, Sweet was only out for Aaron Norton. And yeah, Clayton Oliver in for Melbourne, which is great. But on the Bulldogs side, if you do have Buku Khamis, he's playing defense, and he might be able to get you a 60 or something, maybe more, maybe a tad less. Down back, does get a few free points, and is pretty good overhead, so might be able to take the odd intercept. Buku Khamis is a cover option. Ware versus Buku versus Ambrosio. I don't think Ambrosio, I think he's third because either he doesn't play or he's emergency. I'm not even sure where Ware's playing. I'd have to have a look at the heat map, but I think he's been a bit forward and a bit wing. But with Whitfield out, I think he'll take Whitfield's role most likely. So, probably go Ware, then Buku, then Ambrosio in that order. If you have any of those that you need a field for Hewitt. Treloar's named on ball, so he's been playing halfback though, so I don't really know what happens there. I would assume he plays halfback at least until Caleb Daniel comes back, so that's what I would be expecting. And on Melbourne, just good to have Clary back. And Gawn, hopefully Gawn can find some form. He's named in the forward line, but I think that's just whatever. He'll play mostly ruck like he has the past 2 weeks. So, Salem's been out of form. He's on the bench. So, one to look at for next year. Might be priced in the 60s, and he can do a 90. But you need like a full preseason, and you'd hope that he's like a player that's named on field, I guess. Not that matters too much, but see how he goes. Hopefully he finds some form. Carlton versus the Giants. So this is a big one. So George Hewitt is out. Will Hayes suspended if anyone has him as a rookie on the bench. Mitch McGovern is in. So he's had a very, very difficult, very annoying hamstring issue. So not one I'd touch, but he might be able to score okay in the role. Paddy Dow in. These are extended benches. And then the Giants, well, a lot going on here. So Bruce is coming in for Flynn. A whole bunch of other players. So Fleeton, never heard of him. I haven't done my research on him. Briggs they haven't really played Briggs, so I don't think he plays, but you never know. You'd think that Flynn plays over Briggs. Kelly's out. He'll be a week with concussion. Tom Green managed, so you think he'll be back next week. So first, I think the two main things are, does Jacob Ware play, and what is happening with Hewitt? So Hewitt has a back issue. I think Drew Jones on Fox Footy was saying that Carlton reporter he has a back issue. Don't know the timeline. Back soreness. George Hewitt had a season-ending back injury a few years back. Kept him out for the whole season. So I don't know if it's related to that. I'm not too sure what's happened with Hewitt here, so I'm a little bit worried. I think it's, it could be a test next week and touch and go. So do you trade? If you have a surplus of trades, yeah, I would trade. Otherwise, I just run a Ware or Buku, whoever you've got there. If you've got nobody, I think you got to trade, unless you're going down to 0. Assuming Hewitt is 1 week, but I really hope that in the next 24, 48 hours we can find out what's actually happening with George Hewitt. So yeah, back issues can linger, but if it's a bit of soreness, it might just go away after a week. So not too sure, but I think I'll be holding. I'll also be holding Cripps reluctantly. I don't want to go down to 0 trades, but Sunday night when I do my trades in the video, I'm always a bit trigger happy, so I'll hold for now. No Pitney's also annoying, so maybe another week of Cripps rocking. So that's a bit annoying, but I'll see how he goes. And yeah, Bruce is playing, not one I'd look at in the ruck line, but just not trustworthy at the moment. But yeah, see how he goes. Had to build his body up a bit. I don't think he's been scoring that well in the VFL. And then Ware. So who plays here? So they're missing Hogan and a Toll here. So maybe they play one of Steen. No, Steen defender. I can't remember. Sprouse forward. I don't know who this is. I just assume he's not playing. I don't think O'Halloran's in front of Ware. Steen's not in front of Ware. I don't think Alia plays because they have. Where's Nick Haynes? Haynes named forward, so he'll play forward. But I think this will be their defensive setup. They haven't really brought out any defenders out except for Idun. So I don't really know how it fits in. So maybe Ware's like the 7th defender or something. I think that's what will happen. So I think they'll bring in Ware and maybe like a Toll and then like someone else. I don't know. Maybe Steen plays. So yeah, I think Ware will play, but we'll see how we go next on Friday night with extended benches named. Collingwood versus Essendon. Looks like both teams are going in unchanged, but there might be a few changes. Oh, Taylor Adams in, so he'll play. Someone will be out for him. Not sure who. Oh, it could be Carmichael. Although after his game last week, you'd think he holds. You think Quainer plays. You think Ginnivan plays. And I think Ash Johnson and Carmichael should keep playing because Henry was dropped, so you think he stays dropped. I don't think Tyler Brown, Bianco, Henry Roscoe, I don't think any of them play. Was Henry sub? I can't remember. I thought he was dropped last week. I might be mistaken. But yeah, I think it'll be Quainer, Ginnivan, Johnson, Carmichael. And then Essendon. Redmond's been good, so he's a nice pod if you want to go for that. It's always hard to trust when they're on a bit of a hot streak, and the kick-ins aren't super high with him, but yeah, you never know. But you can't deny his form's pretty good, and I think he was actually not too bad last year either. For a while there anyway, I think he was up and down last year, but ironing out those poorer games. So on the bench, I think Hind will play. I think Hobbs plays, Draper plays, and then one. So you think it's Snelling or Ambrosio who's been playing forward in the VFL. So hopefully it's Ambrosio for people that need someone to field. Otherwise, probably Snelling plays. Maybe they want to give Ambrosio a bit more time in the VFL to develop as a forward. Not sure. West Coast versus St Kilda. But yeah, I doubt he plays, to be honest, but we'll see. Last game, West Coast versus St Kilda. Few outs for the Saints. So Ryder's out for the home and away season pretty much. I think that's what I think he said that. He's kind of expecting that. Zach Jones omitted. That's interesting. No Machito Owens. No. In Hunter Clark, Connolly. So you think Winhager and Seb Ross come straight back in. And then Tom Campbell. It's on West Coast side. Nothing too relevant. Maybe, I don't know if Witherden plays or not. But Witherden's one where you could just pick him like in the last round because he won't get dropped if he's named in the last round. And good chance to score a lot of points. So he's one that you could look at as like a round 23 play, but not with 5 rounds to go. Job security is just not good enough. But on St Kilda's side, so a lot of people looking at Rowan Marshall. So there's 2 sides to this. So one, Tom Campbell's been named on the extended bench, and 2, Rowan's been sick during the week. And we've seen players struggle when coming from sickness, but at the same time, he's playing Bailey Williams in the ruck, who's pretty free to play against as a ruckman. So I still think it's fine to go Rowan. Might not be the best this week just because he's sick, but it still is an easy matchup, and they expect him to be fine, so he should be okay. But yeah, I think he's a good play. Solo ruck, he's a 105, 110, 115, somewhere in that range. I don't know, anywhere between 105, 115, possibly even more. So we see he's got a good around the ground game. Has had a few injury issues, so that is a slight worry. But for his price and given the ruck disaster this year and his upside solo rucking, I think it's a good play to go for Rowan, and something I've thought about using the last 2 trades to get him as a cover player, but I think I'll just let it go. But yeah, I wouldn't need it this week. I just need cover and defense. So I'll just let that one go. So, but yeah, he's one you could look at. And then like Tom Campbell, does he play? I don't think so, because I think he was just brought in as cover. So they've never really used him even when Ryder's been out. So for that reason, I don't think he'll play, but not too sure. Like I think does Patton play? I think they'll play Winhager. Highmore played last week. Maybe Hunter Clark as well. Long should be thereabouts. Yeah, I don't think Campbell will play. Sharman, King, Membry, Rowan. That's pretty tall, so I don't think Campbell will play. So that's the video. So yeah, good luck with your teams this week. See how we go with Georgie Hewitt. Hopefully he can get up for us next week. I'll be doing 0 trades this week. So unless it comes out that Hewitt's out for a bit longer, I'll go straight to Bailey Dale. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.